Hi, all. I'm Lander Tallett. I'm the founder of DigitalRadius, and I want to talk to you today about how Smartsheet can be IT's best friend. DigitalRadius is a consulting company focused on Smartsheet, Boomi, and other solutions, and we really work with our clients to help them scale in a cost-effective and highly efficient way. I come from an enterprise IT background. I was the VP of Enterprise Systems for Moderna for many years and helped that company scale up and go from about 150 up to over 1,500 employees, really closer to 2,000 by the time I headed out. DigitalRadius takes a lot of those ideas and really runs with them. One of the things that I've learned over time is that IT is typically overwhelmed. There are too many requests from different business functions asking for too many different things from an IT team. And yet, when we look at tools like Smartsheet or other low-code, no-code platforms, so I'm going to focus in on Smartsheet as I believe it's really the best of them. When you look at how it interacts with IT traditionally, it really lived outside of the walls of IT. And so even though IT is overwhelmed with all this demand, what happens is functional teams then go out and find their own solutions. And often Smartsheet was part of that answer, is part of that answer. And one of the things that drove us crazy on the IT side is that IT couldn't control Smartsheet, right? People bought their own licenses, they used a credit card to sign up, they went out, they bought things. It was really kind of the Wild West. And even then when it came to data management, security, integration, SSO, all the things that we care about from an IT perspective, Smartsheet was pretty far behind the curve and didn't really give IT the control that it needed in order to manage, maintain, and deploy this as an enterprise system. That's really changed now. Smartsheet has all of those capabilities. And what that does is it gives IT the ability to take control of the Smartsheet environment in a positive way, in a way that says, hey, let us be the partner who helps you solve those problems. Rather than this conflict of functional teams looking for answers, IT telling them, hey, you can't have that, you can't have that, we don't have the resources, we don't have the budget. Use Smartsheet to be that solution that gives you the credibility with the functional teams to go out and say, yeah, we can knock it out of the park in the next 3 weeks, right? Like you can solve this problem quickly. We can build on this. What can you do now with Smartsheet? We can do real SDLC. We can do real access controls, RBAC, IBAC, identity and access management. We can do that and we can build that into the backbone of Smartsheet so that when somebody signs in, they're doing a SAML cert. When somebody, onboards or offboards, their account is provisioned, deprovisioned. We can tie it to Okta. We can tie it to Azure AD. We can do all the things that we really care about from an enterprise IT perspective, and we can do data management. We can say, there's only going to be a few admins, and those few admins have access to the underlying sheets, but everyone else interacts through forms and dashboards. That's work apps. That only was released 18 months ago. These new capabilities mean instead of being this sort of conflict between functional teams that want to use Smartsheet because they can't get what they need from their IT group, instead, Smartsheet should be that solution for IT. Hey, let's bring it in. Let's use Smartsheet in order to add value for our functional teams to solve their problems. And in some cases, you might say, okay, look, we know Smartsheet isn't the future state in the long term, right? If I look out way into the future, maybe it's going to be ServiceNow, Workday, SAP, Salesforce, one of those very large applications, which takes 18 months time to value to do implementation, integration, et cetera. And we do that work. We love those applications. And there's times they're appropriate. There's times they're phenomenal. But there's other times where you need to get something done quickly, and that long to-do list from your functional teams is something that you can then start knocking out of the park with Smartsheet. You can build that close relationship with your functional peers so that you're on the same page. That's why we really think Smartsheet now should be IT's best friend. This is a tool that lets you go out to those functional teams and show how much value IT can have, but it also gives you the controls on the back end in order to manage, maintain, and deploy this as an enterprise solution. It's really completely different than it was a few years ago, and that's really exciting. It's also what we focus on at DigitalRadius. We're really enterprise solution architects with a focus on Smartsheet as well as other applications. We're always happy to chat, always happy to learn more about your use case and the challenges you face. Please go to our website, DigitalRadius, digitalradius.com/Smartsheet for more information on our Smartsheet practice. And I'm always happy to connect as well. Thank you so much.